Alright guys, welcome back to Fidelity Active Trader Pro. Today I'm going to go simple. I'm just going to break down the charts, how to make a chart. I'm going to go through different indicators and just little tips that I think would be very beneficial if you choose to use the Fidelity Active Trader Pro program to day trade. So just stick around and I'm going to definitely give you some good stuff. Alright guys, so on this platform you're going to click on charts where my arrow is. And it comes up with some defaults, but we're going to start with new chart. You click new chart, and I'm going to expand this so we can use the entire frame. And then let's just type in any stock. We'll use Tesla. And as you can see, I already have this 1 minute, 5 minute, 6 minute all up here, but I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch. So if you are using this as a new user, we can do it together. So as you can see right here, I'm just going to get rid of this one. It makes you keep one of them. If you click on the untitled part, you can click in, you double click, and you can change it. So we'll make this the 1 minute, and that allows this to be the 1 minute. We're going to switch down here where it says today. This is 2 days, 5 days, and this tutorial is going to be very slow. It's just really going to break it down for somebody that's a brand new trader. So if this is like too slow for you, just skip past. I'll make little sections for it. So you have today, 2 days, you have the 5-day chart, you have the 10-day chart, the 1 month chart. What I want you to do is click today and make sure this is on 1 minute. And it gives you, when you click on the 1 minute, it's all interface. You can do 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, etc. You can do the daily, the weekly, the monthly. For our purposes, we're going to leave it as the 1 minute. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go under the settings and we are going to change the chart type. The chart type, what that means is, you see how you have these lines here? We're going to change this. So OHLC, we click that, and you can toggle through and change it. And you'll notice as I'm changing these, you'll notice that the colors are changing. I personally like to do the candlestick standard because it really shows the red and the green very well. So candlestick standard is this one. You could do candlestick hollow, where it's hollow in between the bar. And what I like to focus on is I want to be able to see these wicks. You see how they have these empty wicks here? Whichever one shows that one the best for you, the cleanest, is what I'm going to be focusing on. So on pretty much all of them you get that effect. But I personally like to either use candlestick standard or I like to use candlestick filled. So candlestick filled looks kind of nice. The green looks very good, the red looks very clear. And then to save it, you have to hit apply. Now, before we do that, you can change it. If the stock is going up and it's green, you could change the color to blue if you wanted to. You could change it to any color you want to. You can make it gray, you can make it white. I personally keep it green, and I keep the going down red, but you can change that setting if you want. You can also put on the chart settings. I'm going to apply this now, so now it looks like this. But if we go back into settings, you can see that you can add extended hours. What this means is the stock market normally trades from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you click, and if you see here, you have 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m. If I click extended hours, it's going to allow me to see from 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. what the stock was doing before this. So if you unclick the extended hours, you're only going to see normal market hours, which is 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. But when you click show extended, you will have the ability to see 4 a.m. and to 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then you also have the ability to see from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we're going to keep that on as well. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is under these tabs, you can click show volume chart, and when you click this, you're going to see bars pop up on the bottom of this row. So you click, it's checked off. So now that you have the volume bar checked off, you can use this magnifying glass to zoom in on any part of the chart, and we'll do it over here because that's where the most action is, and you'll notice that the bars get bigger. So now when you're looking at your charts, you can see if there's volume and how many people are trading. So if I just scroll, you see the toggle right here. You'll see that it says 2.3 million. So look right here, you have 2.3 million. Then if I scroll to the right, it says 1.3 million, and you can see it for each consequent bar that we go through. And then when it started to sell off, you'll see consequent bar. And just a side note, because I see it, it's good for you to see. I made a video on bull flags, but right here you can see a bull flag forming. So this is just good for newer traders that it's harder for them to, pick out. But right here, these two lines, I just want to draw it out real quick while I'm making this video. You have that nice run up from here, this candle, this green candle, this green candle, and notice how you have the volume sell-off is a little bit lower, and then it kind of just goes here, and then once it breaks this new top here, look how much bigger the volume bar gets. So it just shows you this is a bull flag pulling back, and then you got the flat top breakout right here, and then you have that big rush of volume, which is right these 5 bars of volume. But anyways, let's get back to the charting just so you can keep learning on how to use Fidelity Active Trader. All right, so now I'm going to spend some time going through the draw tab. So I drew those blue lines before. I want to show you. You just have to click on this trend line. You click on the trend line, and when you click on the screen, you just have to hold the left click and then you let go. And if you want to make the lines bigger like I did here, you just have to click on it and you'll see that the mouse changes. You click on it, you can do line thickness, make it as thick as you want. You could change the color, and then you hit apply. And you'll see that the line has changed now to orange. And if you want to move it, you can just click it and drag it. You just click it and drag it. And you can put it anywhere you want. If you want to adjust it, you just have to left click on it. And then you could change the line style to dotted if you want. You could change it to dashes if you want, and just hit apply. And then you can have your own little line that you made. Now if you want to delete it, you just click on it. And when you left click on it, this pops up and just hit remove. The next thing I want to show you under draw is you can use the drag scroll. And this is useful that if you're trading and you want to just drag or go up or down with it, you can. So you just have to click on draw, drag scroll, and then you can go side to side with this to make it easier when you're trying to look across and see where the stock has been, or you want to go back and just look at the past. You can also click over here. Let me see if it works using the drag scroll. So the next thing I'm going to show you is I just drew a couple extra things here, this box, this trend line. If you want to clear them all, you just click under draw, and then you click on the X, which is clear all, and it'll clear everything from the screen so you can start over. So let's zoom back in to make this a little more clear. And then let's click on draw again. And then I never use these, but they have the Fibonacci retracements. If you know how to use these, definitely leave a comment in the section below. I personally don't use them. So this is something that you can kind of play through on your own time. But if you want to, you can draw like linear regression, and you can draw it. But you personally have to, that's why Fidelity, like you have to draw the line if you want to. But just like that, if you clicked on something you don't like it, just click on draw, click on the X button, and it'll clear it. Next, I want you to see this. You can compare. So you can compare stocks. You can compare them to any symbol that you want. So let's say like a competitor of Tesla is Lucid. So we'll type in LICD and we'll hit enter. And now it is going to show you Lucid stock in comparison to it. Now this is kind of, I don't really use the compare unless I am going to compare it to an overall market index. And I'm going to tell you why I think this is useful when you're trading. So let me just quickly, we'll go back to draw, we'll hit X. And just to note, it doesn't remove this. So what we're going to have to do is go under compare, type in Lucid. And it's still not getting rid of it. So anyways, I'm not sure how to get rid of it. So what we'll do is we're going to click on the S&P 500. And I think this could be important when you're trading. So we'll focus on the green and just the charting. Okay, so now this is how you get rid of it. So you see how anytime I click compare and NASDAQ, let's say, and you see the purple line, you'll notice that these little boxes pop up here. The purple IXIC is the NASDAQ, which is this guy right here. All you have to do is click here, up here, and hit delete. And that purple line will go. Now I want to get rid of Lucid, and you click and hit delete. But what I think is useful is if you were tracking the market while you're trading a stock and you want to see if like the NASDAQ's moving up, you could bring this line on to have the trend line to see where it is. And let's zoom out a little bit to see if we get a better marking. It'll just show you where it's trading at for the day. But I'm sure if you brought this on like a 1-year chart, you get a better idea of where this is the SPY, this is the S&P 500. You can see where the SPY has been trading versus where Tesla has been trading. Much more volatile, as you can see. So definitely something to look into. You can compare, and you can do a dual access comparison of the S&P 500. So all I did here, because I did that a little bit fast, I just want you to see it. Click under compare. You could even type in SPY if you wanted to. Click that, enter it, and now the blue line is SPY. Click dual access comparison, and then you can see where it is. But for me, I personally don't use this, but this is something that you could consider using, and you can see where the SPY has been trading in terms of Tesla or any stock that you choose. So it gives you a comparison while you're trading. Now, if I click today, you can get an idea, and if you're trading and you want to see how the overall market's doing while you're trying to enter a position on Tesla, because it's interesting, look right here where Tesla was going up, the overall market was going up as well. And then when Tesla was selling off, the SPY was still increasing. So maybe there's a correlation with that. Personally, I don't know, but it's something that you could consider when you're trading. The next thing I want to add in is events. So in events, you can add things like dividends, earnings, tax lots, and splits. What splits means is when did a company reverse split. So a good example is Tesla reverse split when it was like $1,000 a share. So we'll go to 2 years. We'll click on events and splits. And notice that the S pops up. So right here, the S pops up, which means that, and it shows you, Fidelity ActuTrader Pro is good like this. It'll show you the 3-to-1 stock split that you can see right there on August 25th, 2022. Now let's use another company that would show us more of this, and that is going to be Apple. And I just have to remember what the symbol is. There it is. So here's Apple. We're going to do a max chart, and I'm going to unclick it just so you can see it again. If you unclick it, all those S's disappeared, but if you click splits again, notice they had a split over here in 1987, a 2-to-1 split, and then here a 2-to-1 split in year 2000, and then another split 2005, and then another split 2014, a 7-to-1 split, and then an additional 4-to-1 split in 2020. So that's one way to see the splits. Now that we have them up, we're going to make this chart a little bit smaller. We'll go to 5-year chart, click under events. You can click on dividends. Now you can see, you get an overall picture. How does the company do when they have dividends? And if you just circle over the D and click on it, it'll show you that it gave, on this date, 2019, it gave 77 cents per share owned. And it showed you the ex-dividend date and then the pay date. And remember, the ex-dividend date is when you have to own shares of the company to receive this pay date. So if you owned Apple before May 10th, you would get the pay date of 77 cents per share on May 16th. And then this gives you an idea with that. So I'm going to click off, and the way to remove them is you're going to click dividends, and you see how it's coming off now because I'm clicking it. I'm going to do the same thing with the splits. Now the S's, which is right here, where it's split, Apple's split, a 4-to-1 split on 2020, you just have to click it again and it's off. Next, you can click earnings, and then here is your earnings. You can see the E's coming up, and it'll show you that their earnings per share was 64 cents. It doesn't tell you too much information, so to me it's not that valuable, but it just gives you an idea if you were trying to look back. Let's just say we did 6 months, and we saw earnings here on February, and then another earnings here on May. You can get an idea that earnings is probably anywhere from July and August. You could also Google that information, but it gives you at least some type of idea of where it would be. So now we did the events, we did the earnings. You can do tax lots. I'm not sure what that is, but it shows, let's see what it shows here. Okay, so it's just showing you, I guess. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm not sure if you traded it or not, but we'll move on from there. So we'll get rid of that one. The next thing I want to show you is they have technical analysis. You can do patterns and events. You click on it, and then you can scroll through, and you can do a short term, intermediate term, or long term. This is stuff I don't use, but I'll definitely just spend a minute on this, seeing if we can find something that looks like it could be potentially useful. And we'll see if it actually will go onto the chart for us. So we'll try indicators over here. It looks like they have a triple moving average. We'll click it. Let's see if anything pops up when we apply this. So it says that it's only available for daily and weekly time frames. So some of these settings will only be available if we do certain settings. So we're going to switch to daily, and let's switch to weekly, and still nothing pops up. So this might not be something that is working unless you were during market hours, because it doesn't show any technical events. All right, so now when you have these levels up, if you want to get rid of this bar, like the volume bar we have, you just have to hover over it and you'll see this X pops up. So look, as I hover over it, the X bar, and you just exit out, and now my screen's getting bigger, as you can see right there. Next, what I want to show you is how to make more than one chart. So I want to still have Apple, but I want to be quicker. So if I want this to be the 1 minute chart, this is saved, save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the plus sign. I'm going to label this the 5 minute chart, 5 minute. And just because you label it, you still have to change it. So I'm going to move it to today. And then I'm going to go to the frequency, which is 5 minutes. And then I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to change back to our chart type. We'll do candlestick filled, show extended hours, and hit apply. Now, if I want to see the 1 minute or I want to see the 5 minute, they will be similar. Meaning I can look at the 1 minute, see how this is 1 minute down here. Click on the 5 minute. This is the 5 minute down here. If I want to add more time frames, we'll make this the 15 minute. And this will make you faster when you're trading. So I made it 15 minute. I'm going to switch it to today. Click this, click on 15 minutes. I'm going to go to settings, go back to the candlestick filled, show extended hours, apply. And now notice I have a 1 minute, a 5 minute, and a 15 minute. So if I was trading during the day, I can quickly look at the 1 minute, I can click this to look at the 5 minute, and I can click this to look at the 15 minute. So it gives me an overall direction on what is happening. And this is important. This is for you to be quicker. You don't have to click charts, bring a new chart up, have Apple up, for example, and have to, and I just lost it. So this is a great example. I just want to bring this up. If you lose your screen, you don't have to unclick this and then, do that. I can keep this up the entire time. You go to the bottom right where it says tools in use, and then I can click on, look at that, it shows it labeled. Because I labeled the 1 and the 5 minute, you will see today 1 minute, which is this chart that I'm on. But if I click the 5 minute, if I click the 1 minute, it'll pop up. So anytime that your thing, you click over here, it just disappears, go to tools in use, whatever is actually running on the platform, you just click and it'll pop up. So to avoid this, and to not have to continue to have, let's say, a 1 minute chart up, you could just click the 1 minute, click the 5 minute, click the 15 minute. You can make whichever chart you want. You can make as many charts as you want and make as many plus signs as you want. You just keep adding them and make sure you're labeling them. When you want to get rid of them, you just click the X button. So under the 1 minute, we'll do it under the 15 minute. Under the 15 minute, I'm going to get rid of the volume bar, and I'm going to show you some indicators that are commonly used. And remember, indicators are good to try to predict performance, but they're not always correct. So under indicators, you can type in, I have videos on this, but I just like to break it down because we're going really slow here. RSI, the relative strength index. And let's just bring up a definition so everybody understands what this is. But this is the RSI down here. You can see it. But let me show another clip of just showing what RSI is. So this is a great example of RSI. And what you need to know, just to keep it very simple, when the RSI is very low, so you see how it's like you have this blue line going up and down? It indicates that when the RSI is very low, meaning under 30, you have 30, 50, and 70. When it's below 30, like this would probably be in the 20 range, it means that the stock is oversold at that moment. So there's a potential chance, like look, so it's oversold down here, and notice that the stock has sold off, it's oversold, and that buyers may be interested to bring it back up. And then you look here at overbought, where it's at all-time highs at $32, and it's right here, it lines up perfectly. And then that means that selling is potentially going to happen because there are too many buyers up here. It's been overbought, it's overextended. So then you'll see these extremes. RSI usually ranges from 30 to 70. And they're good to use on like 1-year charts because you can see if a stock has been overbought or oversold. I'll show you another example on Tesla because it's happening as we speak because it's ran up so much. So in this example, I brought up Tesla, and I want you to focus on the chart, how it's moving, and how right here at the 150 range, it went from 150 to 280 in the last 6 months. So this is highlighted 6 months. And you can see right here is the 160 range all the way up to 280. Notice the RSI, which is the blue, which is highlighting right now, you see it highlighting, has gone all the way up from 30 on this red all the way up to 90. So if you can look here at this number RSI, notice as I move the tog, it's increasing from 30 up to 50, all the way up to, it went as high as 88, it looks like, at the peak. And this is where 88 was. And then it started selling back off down to 56. So RSI can be an indicator of overbought, or in this case right here, oversold. Meaning that if you're looking at a trend on a long-term perspective, this might be a buying opportunity because it is oversold. And this could be a selling opportunity because it is overbought. The next indicator I want to show you, which you can see is highlighted here, is the Bollinger Bands. If you click here and I click them, you can see we have Bollinger Bands. And I just want to quickly erase it so you know how to do it on the platform. You just anything that you add, like if you click any indicator and I click cup and handle, it'll show right up here. So you just click here, delete, and now it's gone. So if you want to add it, indicator, and let's add the Bollinger Bands. And I'm not even clicking, I'm just hovering over it so you can see what it would look like. So as you can see, it's adding this area right here. So if I click here, there's your Bollinger Band. If I hover over the market volatility index, there is your Bollinger Band. I'm sorry, just like your indicator that's showing. And it'll show for every single one that you highlight over. So you don't even have to click it. You can just hover over them to see what it would look like on your screen before you even click on it and actually add it to your chart. So I think this is actually very useful. But let's go back to the Bollinger Band. So right here, I click, and what this is saying, the Bollinger Band is like a range. And anytime that the Bollinger Band, like they start to come, the candles come out of the Bollinger Band range, that usually means a reversal. As you can see, look how much this is staying at the top of the band, and it still hasn't reversed, but it's just continued, and now it's starting to go back into the band. I don't use this to trade, but it is something that people do like to use, so it is something that I want to at least offer and show you that Fidelity offers. But let's get rid of this one, let's delete it, and let's show you VWAP, because I think this should be on everybody's list. So you go under indicators, and you can either, this is all of the settings, so we're just going, if you want, you can search and type it in, but I can see it right over here. You have VWAP, which is the volume weight adjusted price, And VWAP is going to work on like daily charts. So here we have the 1 minute, this is the VWAP, and we can change the settings of this. We're going to click on it. And a lot of like traders use this because it's good for VWAP bounces. So if you click on this, you can modify it. We can change the color. Let's make it green. Let's make it a little thicker so everybody can see it. And you can do the line style. You can change it to whatever you want. To me, that's a little much. We can make it the dashes and then apply. And then you can use the VWAP to help you trade. Now I have another video on this, definitely refer through my Fidelity Active Trader Pro, but you can add VWAP and you can see if it's trading below or above VWAP. Usually a smaller, if it's trading above VWAP, it's bullish. If it's trading below, then the stock is bearish for the day. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. But I want to at least introduce VWAP to you guys because I think it's very useful. And it's something that could be used in your trading. All right, so most importantly, you've made your charts, you have your settings, you want to save it. You have to click under this floppy disk, and then you can just hit Save Chart. And that'll save your chart, and you won't have to worry. Every time you log in, it'll be there for you. So that's a quick summary. I tried to just break it down slowly on, drawing. You can draw trend lines, whether it's, you want to start learning how to use the Fibonacci, which I'm not really sure how to use. You can look at the technical analysis of the support and resistance on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, which let's just see if it shows on this. I've always had trouble setting this up, but this will show you specifically on certain charts where support and resistance is. It's saying that there's support at 265 for Tesla right now. And that's basically a good summary of Fidelity Active Trader Pro and where things you can set up when using it. So I just wanted to break that down. I hope it helps. If you feel like it was helpful, please like and subscribe. And I will definitely be making more videos. So definitely just, leave a comment in the section below if there's anything that you want broken down further with Fidelity Active Trader Pro. All right, so here's my channel. I just want to show you, I have a bunch of videos on Fidelity Active Trader Pro. I have the setup. I have how to use the actual Active Trader Pro, which is these directed active traders. So when you're making trades, I have different growth funds that you can use. I have basically how to set up Fidelity Active Trader Pro, how to download it, go from there. We have more on Trade Armor, which was a good video. I have another setup on watch list news and closed positions. Be sure to check them out. There's definitely good videos in here that will show you, like right here, I have active live trades. So if you want to see live trades, little things like that, that will be good for you to see. If you're just a brand new investor and you just want to know where to invest, I have just examples of where to put your money. I'm not a financial advisor. It's what I do. It's in my account. It's what I'm doing for the long term, but I think it's good just to see what other people are doing. I have MACD plus RSI for more specific if you want to learn them more in depth. Options trading, which I'm starting to do now, so I'll be making more videos on options. And I just want you to see that, like dividends that I like, the SEHD. Definitely things to look into, order types. If you don't understand what a buy limit is or a market order, you definitely need to be familiar if you're going to enter day trading. So these are all useful videos that could be potentially, beneficial for you to watch. So I hope it helps. Definitely refer my channel. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out. And I look forward